Your body's saying, I can't continue, but your mind and your heart are saying, I want to continue.
I thought I saw a mountain lion on the way down because I was kind of seeing things. I was hallucinating.
I couldn't lift the legs on the climbs or the descents.
I figured if I collapsed from dehydration or exhaustion, I would fall into the rocks and I could break a bone.
It was pure survival.
It's perhaps ironic that this torment takes place on an island that to many is an earthly paradise. La Palma in the Canaries, known as La Isla Bonita, or the Beautiful Island. It has the clearest skies on Earth, barely any rainfall, and a stunning volcanic landscape which for the past 5 years has been the venue for the 83-kilometre ultramarathon Transvulcania. Part of the Skyrunning World Series, it's almost an unofficial world championship for ultra-trail running and attracts the biggest names such as Catalan Kilian Jornet, 3 times world skyrunning champion.
Transvulcania have bigger level every year because it's a great race. It's a nice trail and it's a huge ambience. It became in just 5 years, a race to put always in the calendar. You start from the beach and you just follow a ridge during all the race, so you are always in between the 2 seas. You are always in the top of the mountain, and it's really beautiful because the landscapes are amazing.
2 days before the main event, the village of Tazacorte is the venue for a round of the vertical kilometre series, an uphill-only time trial with 1,000 metres of climbing. An event that would wear out most runners, but Kilian, who spent the winter racing on skis, is using it as a warm-up for Transvulcania. Coming in third against the vertical K specialists, the signs are good for the defence of his Transvulcania title.
I don't run for making marks or for doing some records, but I run to be in the mountains, and it's that I love, and in the mountains it's always technical.
These feelings echo those of the man who beat Kilian here in 2012, American Dakota Jones.
You know, running is more of a medium for the experience here. Like, we all like to be in these mountains and to experience all these wild places, and running is oftentimes one of the best ways to see that. I love it here. This place is amazing. It's so unique from anything else I've ever seen that I just, every time I look around, I'm just blown away.
It all starts at sea level in Faro de Fuencaliente on the southern tip of the island. The pros lining up in front of a sea of anxious enthusiasts. The anxiety, the result of an 83-kilometre route whose 4,500 metres of total climbing begins with an 1,800-metre ascent of the volcano La Deseada. After a fast ascent to the aid station at El Pilar, there's another brutal climb to the Roque Los Muchachos, the high point of the island. A 2,500-metre descent to Tazacorte follows, before a final 5-kilometre sting in the tail as the runners stagger back uphill to the finish in Los Llanos. Tailender or top runner, taking on this event has big rewards, but it's always an ambitious undertaking.
It was really, really exciting. It just lots of runners, all with head torches, kind of music blaring out. It was, yeah, just everyone's really excited and anxious to get going.
Tom's in amongst the star runners and aims to stay there. As the charge begins, the challenge is to be amongst the first when the road narrows to a mountain track. The 2012 and 2013 women's champions Anna Frost and Emily Forsberg are keeping a close eye on each other. Barring accident or injury, one of these two will win. But there's nothing to choose between the Swede and the New Zealander, both former world champions.
Very, very start of the race is really crazy because everyone sprints and then walks. And I don't need to walk at that point because we've only just started, so it's kind of crazy getting around the rocks, and there's rocks slipping and people falling.
Kilian Jornet is clear of the crowd, but the competition in the men's event is so intense that they'll run close to flat out for 7 hours. American Sage Canaday was third last year after breaking away at the start. This year his tactics are the same, but he'll apply even more pressure early on. And he's succeeding as they reach the crowds in the first town of Los Canarios. A few seconds behind, but is Kilian bothered at this stage? Another top Spanish athlete, Luis Alberto Hernando, takes advantage of the aid station to refuel. He was second a year ago and is racing alongside USA's Timothy Olsen, who finished fourth. 2 more names that could win this event this year. Anna Frost leaves Los Canarios and there's no sign of her main rival, Emily Forsberg.
That's crazy down there. Good though. A nice breeze. A long way to go.
1 minute down, Forsberg's fighting an injury picked up in the frenzy at Faro de Fuencaliente.
Always a lot of people in the start, and I started to run, and after 200 meters the trail comes, and then people was just crazy, and I got a bit imbalanced, and so I fell, and after that I needed to run with my a big cut. I was thinking I just wanted to continue, and then I didn't really want to look down because I saw that the muscle was hanging out from the hand, and I was just, oh no, no, no.
Emily presses on and won't retire from the race, but will be forced to pull out by the race officials when she reaches La Deseada. It's just unsafe for her to continue. There are thousands of competitors this year, every one of them soaking up the support as the whole town comes out to cheer in Los Canarios. And it's a sample of the furore they'll encounter time and again, although the scene at the summit of La Deseada is calmer, with scattered enthusiasts as well as views of Tenerife and the sunrise to motivate the race leader Sage Canaday.
I remember seeing it for the first time last year, and so this year I was looking for it, and it was just as spectacular this year. I was super excited to see. It's probably the most beautiful thing I've ever seen during a race.
He'll also get a boost from the fact that he's built a 5-minute lead by the 2,000-meter summit.
It's always really brutal, that first climb, especially with the loose rock and the sand. I thought I felt a little bit better than I did last year.
Sage's repeat tactics seem to be working as the chase group comes through, including Kilian Jornet, Salomon teammate Tom Owens, and Luis Alberto in blue. Second in 2013, he's a big danger to the other elite athletes.
Es muy difícil.
It's difficult, he says. I'd say that I'm thinking more about running my race, and I'll try to come close to last year's time rather than thinking about the result. I think about the fact that there are so many of us, so many good rivals, strong ones, and that not winning is not a disgrace. But with these guys, coming second sometimes feels like a victory. He goes on to say that if he runs a good race and he puts the work in, then victory will be a bonus, and there are huge benefits from winning here. But it is so difficult to win, so much can go wrong, and you have to, of course, consider all the other athletes. There are 120 volcanoes on the southern mountain range of the island. Anna Frost is the first female to reach the highest of them.
It's just a stunning course. You go through such diverse environments out there, so it's always really interesting for your mind as well.
Though the highest point of La Palma, Roque Los Muchachos, is yet to come.
Because it's a 60-kilometre hike all the way to the top, you really have to get in just a good steady pace. So I was just trying to stay in a consistent pace that I thought I could keep.
One hill down.
But there are many more to come. And with the heat rising, the battle to be Transvulcania champion 2014, or even just to finish the race, has only just started.
Painted it myself.
Did you?
Who is it? Who is it? Your mother.
Is it?
That's Mum.
The woman standing next to us right now?
Yes.
Did you paint it from memory? Yes, a really bad memory?
No, a photograph.
Of a different woman?
Friday Night Dinner returns on the 20th of June on 4.
I'm not laughing at you.
The new series of One Drawn Every Minute, Wednesday at 9 on 4.
Welcome back to La Palma in the Canary Islands and the Transvulcania Ultra Marathon. After the first major climb of the race, the men's leader, Sage Canaday, is on his way down from La Deseada, heading for the aid station at El Pilar, where 1/3 of the distance will be completed. He's a 2:15 marathon runner and using his leg speed on the flat to fight Kylian Jornet's mastery on the technical sections. It's a strategy he used last year when he finished 3rd. This time, he hopes to keep the Spanish runners behind him.
Then I knew right after about 30K, Kylian and Luis were gaining on me really fast.
Kylian Jornet is in the chase group. Luis Alberto is looking calm. And Great Britain's Tom Owens is also in the hunt. 2012 champion Dakota Jones and Timothy Olsen, two of the Americans chasing down the race leader. As he reaches El Pilar, Sage's lead is down to 3 minutes 30 seconds. Even on the downhill, you can't relax. And after the headlong descent into the aid station, the crowds keep the adrenaline going. El Pilar is also the finish of the 24-kilometre half-marathon event, which covers the first part of the course, and the start for the popular 44-kilometre marathon race from here to Tazacorte. Neither of those options are easy ones. In the main ultra-marathon event, Anna Frost is the first woman to El Pilar, far enough ahead to relax a bit on the descent. And it's only now that she'll learn that Forsberg is out of the race.
I knew that any gap I'd have at the top would be a benefit for me because my weakness is on the down. So I really worked quite hard all the way up.
Like 2012, this is turning into a solo effort. All the top runners are legendary figures on La Palma, and Anna's got time to acknowledge the crowds. She's now 9 minutes ahead of her rivals, Jodie Adams-Moore, Maite Meora and Ushue Fraile. After El Pilar, the course runs along the rim of Caldera de Tabariente, the remains of an ancient volcano and the world's largest erosion crater, with a diameter of 29 kilometers and walls up to 2,000 meters deep. The course takes the competitors along the edge of these cliffs, via many other summits, to the high point of La Palma, Roque Los Muchachos. Still 27 kilometers from there, the chase pack smell blood.
When we start climbing to the volcano, we knew that Sage was 3 minutes in front, so with Luis we started to run a bit faster.
They actually passed me probably in the same section of trail that they passed me last year, like within 400 meters of the climb. It was crazy. They blew past me too. Like last year I tried to stay with them for a couple kilometers after they passed me, and this year I couldn't even maintain even close to their cadence or pace on the climb going up, and by the time we got to the top they were out of sight.
By now the chase group has become the lead group, but it's down to two runners, Kylian Jornet and Luis Alberto, who's turning the screw on the final climb to Roque, the high point of the caldera. It's a word that in Spanish means the cauldron, appropriate for the stinging heat the runners are facing. Sage is still in third at the 2,423-metre high point of La Palma, with plenty of the island's residents out to cheer and help cool the runners down.
The water over your head was a lifesaver. I started doing that, I think, at the top and then on the descent, and that would feel the best. Besides just drinking water and trying to eat some bananas or some food, the dumping water on my head was just the best thing ever. It was so refreshing, and it just felt so good.
Tom Owens is 5th at Roquet, and for a man who usually races in the mud and mist of English mountains, this is new terrain.
It was a strange one actually, because I started to get some cramp really early on, just when it was when we were going down to El Pilar, which is even before that. I kind of had to bear that in mind, but then it's quite a lot of flat running for a section, which was fine. But as soon as we started to hit the hill, I started to cramp again. Some of the other guys, Kilian and Hernando, they just they shot off. That was it. Didn't see them again for the rest of the race.
The skies here are the clearest in the world, and many scientific institutions keep observatories on the edge of the caldera. With that comes little shelter from the burning sun. Even the downhills don't provide a rest, especially when they come in pounding 2,500 metre chunks, testing knees and ankles to twisting point on the descent back to the sea at Tazacorte. Though it sees little rainfall, La Palma has a plentiful water supply. Luis Alberto, Kilian and the rest of the leaders need every drop they can get on the descent.
Yeah, the descent is not a relaxing downhill. I was getting really thirsty and kind of dehydrated, and I thought I saw a mountain lion on the way down because I was kind of seeing things. I was hallucinating. It was really just like a tree. It scared me.
I was absolutely gasping for water for the rest of the race. I just couldn't drink enough. Really strange feeling, kind of drinking and never quenching that thirst.
Down in Tazacorte, eyes are on the mountainside for the first sign of the leaders. When the town comes into sight for the runners, there's still 600 metres to descend on spectacular switchbacks cut into the cliffside high above the Atlantic Ocean.
It's long because you see that the beach and the sea is there, and it's you spend so many minutes to go down, but it's a nice moment because you hear all the people that it's down, and it's so many spectators down.
Luis Alberto is coping best with the temperature. He's built a 90-second lead going on to the switchbacks. One false move here and a runner could fall 1,000 feet into the sea. The brain senses this, and it's easy to get a feeling of vertigo. But Kilian's head is spinning from the heat, not from the height, as he makes his descent.
You just want to go there, and this year mostly I was really dizzy during this part, and I needed to put water on me to become colder, so I was really expecting the moment to go down and to take some cold.
Luis Alberto looks strong as he runs between the crowds. His dream of winning the race is just 6 kilometers away. And Kilian Jornet looks to be struggling more and more. Despite suffering with hallucinations, Sage Canaday looks set to hang on for another 3rd place. But as he reaches Tazacorte, the crowds near the finish in Los Llanos are already more than warmed up for the arrival of the winner. In 6 hours, 55 minutes, Luis Alberto Hernando is yet another Spanish victor in Spain's classic race. A minute behind Kilian Jornet's course record, but he's the only runner to break 7 hours this year.
Bueno, la verdad que estoy que...
And this is what the race winner has to say. He says the truth is he's totally overwhelmed, very excited, very happy. He says of his entire sports career, this has been the most important race and the one that makes him happiest to win. For himself and all the people who've helped him, and there are a lot of them, they really deserve this victory. I'm overjoyed and very thankful to the Isla de La Palma, to the race organisers, the volunteers, for making this race such a joy. So one happy winner, and here's a man who's nothing short of a legend in La Palma, Kylian Jornet, having to settle for second this time round.
Today I was feeling really good, I was really prepared, we were running really easy, and then in the downhill I have 2 moments really warm that it makes me without the strength. Luis just was going.
What an effort from Sage Canaday. He continues the USA's success in this event. One day perhaps he'll join Dakota Jones as an American winner.
Very pleased. In this competitive field, I think it's a lot more competitive than last year, so I was really fortunate to hold on. I thought I'd get past for sure at the end, but I didn't. It's so electric, so exciting. Everyone's so supportive on the course. It really helps you finish hard.
Andy Simmons, second in 2012, remains the best British result. Training partner Tom Owens hangs on for 6th in 2014.
It was survival and a very brutal race, but what an experience.
Could it be a course record for Anna Frost in the women's race?
When I got to the final road, there were so many people cheering and shouting, so I was doing high fives along that long, seems like 10 kilometres long, it just keeps going. And it wasn't until I got into the final sort of part, into the finish, that people were screaming anyway, but go, go, go. So I was thinking, why are they screaming so much at me? I mean, okay, I'm going, but then when I finally got to the last straight and I saw the official clock, I thought, oh, I better go.
So a time of 8 hours, 10 minutes and 40 seconds. She's just inside her own best time and crosses the line to be greeted by Emily Forsberg, who had to withdraw in the early stages. As the winners cross the line, many of the rest are less than halfway through. Some will need every second of the 18-hour time limit to make it. And if it wasn't for the support, some might not get there at all. By now, every runner still going is a legend. Whether you start in the dark and finish in the dark, or race across La Isla Bonita in a speedy 7 hours, completion is a major achievement, and many will feel they have to come back again. La Palma's ultramarathon is more than just a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
This is a race on my list every year now. It's such a spectacular place to visit. The people are so wonderful. It's the most beautiful island I've been to do a race on, and so if it keeps bringing back the top level competition, I want to be here.
It's absolutely incredible. So many people out supporting the race, and it's a real kind of festival feel about it.
I love it here, and not for the title, not for the record, but just for the race.